Hi guys, this is Lydia, the lifestyle coach, helping people to be free from food crazies using nothing but their brain, not needing therapy or diets or medications, simply using your own brain, your own thoughts, knowing how to navigate those so you can be completely free from binge eating and bulimia. And just so you guys know, for those of you who are new, I am Lydia, and I am the founder of this group, and I was a bulimic and a binge eater for years. I am now completely done, completely free, and so excited to come to you guys with another little live feed. We're doing a series, I'm doing a series right now, just debunking diets. This is something that comes up in just, in questions in the group so much of like, well, how does this work, with dieting? And what if I need to lose weight? And, how does this fit in with, a meal plan or how I'm eating, or what about my health? Or there are all these sorts of questions that come up. So I just wanted to be real clear with you guys because there are answers for all of these things. So today we're going over part 4 about how dieting is the quickest way to gain weight. And we're going to talk about that. But first, I just wanted to celebrate with you guys. I'm in Chicago. I'm at a Starbucks in Chicago right now. It's such a beautiful city. And, last night we were just watching the fireworks. We were up on this rooftop and there was just a 360 view of just hours and hours and hours of all of these fireworks. And it was just absolutely gorgeous. But wanted to celebrate with you guys on the other side of an eating disorder. Like, in the past, that would have driven me crazy. So let me give you an idea of, this event that we were at. So it was just unlimited food, just everywhere. There were people grilling, and it just kept coming. And there was food, there was desserts. In the past, that would have been so stressful for me. It would have been am I just going to let go and just eat whatever I want today? And then if I do, how am I going to not binge? I would have been going back and checking on the food all the time. I would have known all the food that was there. I would have been trying to count calories in my mind. I would have been planning on what I'm going to, do the next day or the next week to make up for this. I would have been distracted, being able to be present with anyone. I probably would have missed the fireworks because I would have been down compulsively eating the food. Like, it would have taken so much joy and enjoyment out of my life. And that was life for years for me, just having really great, wonderful things that were happening and not being able to enjoy them. And that sucks. That totally sucks, to have a good life that you cannot enjoy because you're obsessed with food. So that's what we're doing here. We're getting free. We're getting better. And in just a permanent way. Like, this is not about managing your eating disorder. This is not about being able to, do things just right or just perfectly so that you're able to just squeak through the rest of your life without actually binging but still being obsessed about it all the time. This is literally freedom. This is not having issues with food anymore. This is about being a normal eater. This is about really having to get in touch with who you used to be, because food is not a big deal at all anymore. So it's hard to even imagine when it was a big deal. So I want you guys to know the difference. I had no idea what food would be there. I might have heard a couple things talked about here and there, but I didn't seek after knowing what food was going to be at this party. And I didn't have a time planned when I was going to eat. I just went. And I wasn't really hungry at first. So, I kind of saw that there was food, but I wasn't eating it, right? And then I got hungry a little later, so I went. And you guys, this is such an amazing thing. I get a plate, and then I just go and I just look at what food is there, and then I say, what do I want? Not in a sort of okay, I have to, perfectly go with my hunger signals and my fullness signals, and I have to know how to, balance everything. Literally just a casual question of what do I want? And then I just have everything that I want in the portion that I want, which is just naturally, without effort, not a ton. I was realizing how sort of small my portions were compared to back in the day, my portions would have been how much can I fit on this plate? How much can seem appropriate? How much can I go back and get, plate after plate after plate? It was a common thing for me to binge at parties and literally have 5 or 6 huge plates that I would try to go and get. Well, different people were looking, so nobody's why does that person eat 5 different dinners, So it was just things that I wanted to taste, and if I had something and it wasn't that good, I didn't eat the rest of it, or if I was full, I didn't have the rest of it. It was just such an incredibly calm experience. Before that would have just worn me down more and more, having the food there. It would have just gotten harder and harder, and it would have gotten worse and worse as the night went on. We were there for, I don't know, 10, 12 hours. Like, it was intense. It was a long time that we were there. And there was no sort of like, well, now I don't have any willpower left. It was just like, oh, okay. Like, I went and had something around lunchtime, and then I went and had something around dinner time, and then maybe I went and got a snack. And I had other times where, hey, the connection went out. Hopefully I'm back now. And if you guys can't hear me, then we'll talk about this another time. But I think that we are back. So just, recapping just how normal food was. Like, I never went down to specifically seek after food and see what was there. There were times where I just happened to walk past the food table and just nothing looked good right then. So I just didn't have anything. Like, these are all things that are absolutely, a miracle from where I used to be. And I know that, so many of us are on that journey. So I just want you to know there's hope. Another thing that comes up a lot that I wanted to talk about was, like, I had a few drinks, right? It's the 4th of July, it's a party, so I had a few drinks. So this was even in a state of my inhibitions being down, like having alcohol. And I want you to know that when you go so long with being recovered, and when your brain is at that place where it's like those connections in your brain that were reinforced by all the compulsive binging and that cycle over and over, when you are free from your food crazies, and when you don't do that behavior for so long, those parts of your brain are just like, they're pruned off. Like, they're not in use, so your brain doesn't really need them. So it really doesn't matter how much I drink or how emotional I feel or whatever these things are that, we think makes us more susceptible to these things. Binge eating is not something that I do. Like, it's not even in there as a, well, I'm only doing that or not doing that because I have self-control. It's like well, it's just not what I do. So drinks or not, it's just not appealing at all. So that's freedom, you guys. It's freedom that you don't need any circumstance. You don't need any certain thing to be perfect. You don't need willpower. You can simply just root this out of you of a thing that you do and step into a new normal and a new identity where binge eating just isn't a thing for you anymore. So just wanted to celebrate with you guys. Happy 5th of July now. And let's talk about how dieting is the quickest way to gain weight. So if you've been dieting, like, how long have you been dieting? Like, how much weight have you lost? And how many times have you lost it? Have you ever lost weight and then gained it back plus some? So in fact, that phenomenon, you guys, is so common that it's probably super familiar to you. But what do? Okay, we have an obesity epidemic in the country. And you know what's really interesting? All the countries who are most obese are also the most common to diet. My theory is that it's not that we are dieting because we're obese. We are obese because we are dieting. So here's how it works. First, you want to lose weight, so you diet. 2, you lose some weight, but then some of it creeps back on. So 3, you diet again. And this time it's harder. And the magic is gone. Like, it doesn't feel the same. It's like you have less willpower this time, or you end up not sticking to it as well. Then 4, because you've been dieting, you've been eating less, so your metabolism is slower. And you've been losing muscle along with the fat that you've been losing. So 5, when you go back to normal eating, your weight comes back faster because you're burning fewer calories, because you have less muscle, and you have a slower metabolism. So 6, this freaks you out. So you diet even harder, more extreme, more rigid. You feel even less secure about it because you've been struggling so much. And then 7, because of your survival instincts that really are about getting you to not starve, getting you to eat. We are wired to survive and to eat and to get enough food and all that we can when we have the opportunity. And when we diet, we really rev up those survival instincts. So those survival instincts come into play, and this drives your body to crave a ton of food, that's high in sugar, that's high in carbs, and you start thinking about food all the time. Have you guys had this experience where it's like, wow, you're confused why you're so obsessed with food now? Like, I didn't used to think about food all the time. I am actually eating worse than I ever have before. I would have maybe had a dessert here and there, but I would have never had an entire box or an entire bag or an entire pan or whatever it is of something where you're not even enjoying it. You might even have an identity of health, and then you're really confused about why this is happening. So, number 8, you cut down your calories even more. And now you're just trying to recover from your binge eating. Now you've got a whole nother problem, right? It's not just like, oh, I want to lose some weight. Now you've got this. Hey there. All right, I think we are back now. So, number 9. Then, after a few months or a few years, you are the highest weight you have ever been. You cannot stick to a diet for more than a few days. And when you're off your diet, you gain weight quicker than ever before. So do you see how this can turn into obesity? That's why stepping out of this cycle is so important. It's not that you have to give up your health. It's that the way that you are getting healthy is actually making you less healthy and creating obesity. So if you have been trying to push the reset button on your relationship with food, but you are struggling, I would be happy to help you. You can pop over to www.lydiawente.com/apply. I think we're pretty booked up right now, but I think we might have a few more sessions open right now. So see if you can grab one. If you do see one available, I would snag it right away. That's lydiawente.com/apply for a free 45-minute session. We're here to help you to get those first steps to recovery, and we'll go from there. So this is Lydia, the lifestyle coach, debunking diets. Mwah.